The ego equation, when managers stop listening. Every downfall in leadership begins with a simple shift, the moment a manager stops listening. At first, it's subtle. They start talking more, interrupting faster, defending harder. The more authority they gain, the smaller everyone else's voice becomes. And soon, what was once collaboration turns into command. What was once trust turns into tension. And the team that used to follow out of belief now follows out of fear. That's the ego equation, where confidence turns into arrogance and leadership becomes an echo chamber. Part 1. The birth of the ego equation. No one sets out to be an ego-driven leader. It happens quietly, often after success. The praise feels good, the decisions work, the results come in. And suddenly, you start believing your own story. You stop asking questions because you think you already know. You stop seeking feedback because you assume you're right. And you begin mistaking agreement for alignment. But here's the truth. When leaders stop listening, they don't just lose touch with people. They lose touch with reality. Because without honest feedback, you can't grow. Without new perspectives, you can't adapt. And without humility, leadership turns from guidance into dictatorship. Part 2. The psychology of ego in leadership. Ego, at its core, is fear wearing a mask of confidence. It's the fear of being wrong. The fear of appearing weak. The fear that someone else might know better. So ego builds walls. It deflects criticism, avoids vulnerability, and demands obedience. But what ego forgets is this. Respect cannot be demanded, it must be earned, and re-earned, every day. The strongest leaders are not the ones who shout the loudest. They're the ones who listen the deepest. Because listening isn't weakness, it's wisdom. Part 3. The fallout of not listening. When a manager stops listening, the entire culture starts to decay. People stop sharing ideas. They start protecting themselves instead of contributing. Meetings become quiet not because everything's fine but because everyone's afraid. Innovation dies. Trust evaporates. And what's left is a team that moves, but without meaning. That's the silent cost of ego. It doesn't just hurt relationships, it kills possibility. Part 4. The cure. Reclaiming humility. The antidote to ego isn't silence, it's curiosity. Ask questions, even when you think you know the answer. Invite opinions that challenge yours. And when someone speaks truth, don't defend, listen. Because humility doesn't mean thinking less of yourself. It means thinking of yourself less. Great leaders aren't defined by how much they control, but by how much they learn from the people they lead. Closing thought, emotional anchor. Leadership without listening is just authority in disguise. The moment you stop listening, you stop leading. So the next time you're tempted to dismiss, to interrupt, or to defend, pause. Because the wisdom you ignore today might be the lesson that could have saved your team tomorrow. The ego equation is simple. When managers stop listening, everyone stops growing. But when they start again, that's when real leadership begins.